But over here is her little Chief Smoker. I bought her for Christmas. She's been wanting one, and it's the only one I found that would actually fit in the RV without us having to have it in our living space. Got a little detachable cord. Came with a bag of alder chips. We also got some apple, cherry, peach, and maple chips to go along with it. Inside of here, normally these are only 260 or 250 watts, and that's not very much power. They're rated for 165 degrees Fahrenheit. We got 4 little racks. They're easy to space out. Drip pan and our, make sure I got a good view of it, the drip pan and the chip pan. Normally the little burner sits right down here in beside these 2 little fingers and runs through these 2 little holes back here in this little control box. And this little light and the little control knob isn't there. They're just one temperature. That's all there is to it. So what I've done is I took a ultra cheap, like 1200 watt hot plate from Amazon. I got the one with the solid top, and it was quite easy to be able to retrofit in here. I just had to drill a couple of holes through the base for a couple of the pieces. This is the light from the front of the hot plate. This is the control knob from the hot plate. Pull these out and I will flip it over. Right now we're getting ready to cook a little turkey breast thing. I don't know, it was like a turkey roll with dark meat and light with 3 pounds. We'll see how it smokes. And this is actually the bottom of the assembly. I took and I put it on here just to keep it away. I need to put this on with a couple of little screws to the base, a couple of little L brackets. Okay, when I peel this up, you can see the control knob, which came straight out of the hot plate. All I did was drill a couple of holes to mount it. And here I didn't have a large enough drill bit, so I had to drill 4 holes each for the 2 hot wires for the hot plate. And here's the little connector block with the light to show us that it's on. I ran it back through, soldered it together, put a little sleeve on there to protect the wires as it went through this, which was a little rough, and I connected it back to the original plug so that I can remove the plug anytime I want. I do have these little L brackets. I'm just going to mount right down in here on the base of this, 2 of them. I'll probably use all 4 just for the heck of it, and support this that way if we set it down on something, it still has air vents to allow a little heat to go through, and everything should work just great. These are made by Smokehouse Products, and on the back of them it actually shows that there should be a Little Chief 2, which is 1,000 watts, and I've never been able to find it anywhere. It's not on their website, so I don't know. This thing is awful thin material. You can see right here just how thin it is. It's much thinner than a key. The whole thing is built out of that, but we've probably drove about 1,000 miles with it sitting in one of our lower compartments, and there's no major dents or dings in it. It seems pretty solid. It's got quite a bit of room in it. I mean, you couldn't smoke a whole turkey in there. You could probably get a whole chicken on one of these things, especially if you raised it up. Since this doesn't have all the bells and whistles of the normal smokers that you get, doesn't have any digital controls or anything, I don't even know how good this little control knob is going to be, if warm, low, medium, high are going to have any effect, or it may just be there for show on the hot plate. I have this little monitor here. It's Thermal Pro. It's the TP08, which looks like one of the better models for what we're doing. I could have gone up the next model, but I don't know. This one looked like it was good enough. This one, when you turn it on, it will show you 2 temperatures. There's 2 probes. Obviously 2 probes here. One for the box, one for the meat. You can read both of the probe temperatures on this unit. It shows you your food and your barbecue. You can set it up to have a high, a low, and a mid-range limit. You can set custom temperatures, and this also has set temperatures in it based on the type of food. I don't see this labeled as which one is which, so it probably said that in the instructions somewhere. They all have a little rubber protector. This guy has a little stool stand that he can set on. I'm thinking he might work real good posted right up here on the front of the door. There's enough of a gap in both sides of that door that we can fit these sensor wires through, and we'll be able to see how it's cooking as we want to go. We can pick it up, put it inside of the thing. The only two things that actually stand out on this is the little top handle and the little knob on the bottom. This whole piece goes inside for storage. It's easy enough just to offset it, slide it in there, and we can store it away like it's nothing. And it's all the way plugged in. It's showing 84 degrees on number 2. Oh, I guess number 2 is probably going to be barbecue. There we go. Number 2 is barbecue. This is probably the better piece to use for the barbecue sensor, since it looks like there's a little probe we can mount in there. So I'll swap this meat probe onto that side, and I'll put our barbecue probe on that side. Give it just a couple of seconds to see how this reacts. There it is, 82 and 83 degrees right here in sunny Arizona. Put my hand on there, it automatically goes up as we see the temperature increase. Well, nope. Let's give it a minute, see what happens. Okay, we're showing 9 degrees there on sensor 1, so that's going up pretty quickly. It's kind of flip-flopping back and forth. Let's try sensor number 2. And 84 degrees, 90 degrees on sensor number 1. Of course, let's bring our remote back up here again, and it takes a couple of seconds for it to update, probably about 5 seconds or so, which isn't very long at all. There was no programming them together, no adjusting. Come on, heat up a little bit more. 92 on the probe, and let's see when the unit, there it goes, that unit updated, just about 5 seconds. I had just broken the unit, or the remote unit, putting it on here. I just figured out that there is a little clip in there that allows you to do that. Allows you to stand it up. I believe it's also supposed to have an audio alarm, so let's close that back on. That's hanging on there. Okay, and these two sensor probes, although they look a little delicate, they're rated for up to 300 degrees Celsius, 572 degrees Fahrenheit. Looks like the modification's working pretty good. It's well above 165, and the wind's blowing pretty good outside, so the temperature's looking good. They've stayed about 15 degrees apart the whole time from the middle rack to the top. Now time for the magic. Some Tony Chachere's injector put into the turkey breast, and or turkey roll, I guess it is.
Normally we would have brined it, but we kind of didn't have time to do it this time, so we're just going to do an injector instead and hope it for the best.
And I've been running temperature up extra high just to kind of see how the unit does, and try to check, see that this won't melt my plastic table I have it sitting on either. But it starts beeping right when I hit my temperature. Alright, it's taken about 5 hours, but we're finally at 165 degrees internal temperature. Check this thing out. The outside looks nice and pretty. Still plenty juicy. So we'll get this inside and cut it apart. We'll eat dinner at 9 o'clock at night.